All right, Friday, we have some bad news, unfortunately, about this truck. So, machine shop said they got busy, and apparently we're not going to see this head until next week. So, that means I need to clean up all the little odds and ends that I can. It brings in, it's more work that I got to do because I was hoping it would be here today. So, I got to go through all of this stuff, organize it, move it somewhere else that isn't on the tailgate because I have to pull this out. We have a Durango coming in. And unfortunately, on top of that, I don't mean to keep touching on this, but bring in as many trucks a day as possible for like little jobs doesn't work out because I was supposed to have a customer here at 10 this morning. And that was a diag and a couple other things. So we were supposed to diagnose it, fix it. That was going to be in over the weekend. And then we were going to finish it up on Monday. But that has not happened. That truck is not here. I don't know. I haven't heard anything back. So it's just one of those things, like, for every little thing to work out, the more customers I have, the harder it is to plan stuff. So I try to find less customers that are, basically you want to go for the higher quality, more, the ones that will actually pay you for like the bigger stuff. Unfortunately, that's just how it has to work. I can't sit and do the cheap stuff and have everybody show up because it's just, unfortunately, it's not going to work out that way. I can't have 10 people waiting outside. But there you go. We'll get this mess cleaned up. I am going to flush the radiator for him at some point as well. But in the meantime, get it cleaned up and start getting some of them tools, because some of those tools are Josh's too. I don't know what the deal was with that, but this has to get pulled either up or out. All right, so the one customer at a time rule, I'm kind of trying to stretch it to 2 at a time. Like I said, with Josh's truck, so it's kind of been a waste of a day. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. I don't know. I've been trying to strategically plan stuff, and all it takes is for one customer really to not show up, and it kind of throws the whole balance off. So I know Tuesday I still have the hot shot run. I think what we're going to end up doing is just taking the customer that I was going to have on Wednesday. I think I'm going to move him up to Monday. And if I hear anything back, we're just going to have to schedule at a later date. I'm going to grab a pry bar and kind of like push this thing up because we got one more coming in tonight. So it's going to be a cluster, but he's not going to be here till after 5, so I cannot sit around and wait around. Probably go to Texas Roadhouse tonight or something like that. I'm kind of in the mood for some steak, so let's get this thing pulled up and get out of here. Don't think I could have parked that any closer. Mobile oil change done. Oil changed at 241-257, so we're going to get this closed up. Took me no time at all. Put a new sticker on the battery. Alright, now you guys love the towing videos. So we got everything all greased up. Sprayed. Put a ton of grease on the ball. So we're gonna pull out of here, and we got a customer to rescue tonight. So go pick his truck up, and we'll be working on that tomorrow. Just missed the basketball hoop. Alright, so I backed into the bar where Josh lives. That's the trailer lock. So, backed in. It's a little tight. It's fine, though. Transmission temp was 220 degrees because I was beating the shit out of it, but it's fine. Josh said I'm desensitizing myself to what these numbers mean, but 1750 EGTs, that's normal. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but I had to park in the yard. This place was not trailer. All right, filling up now. 208 gallon. No, just that'd be crazy. All right, so 423 is what we're getting it for. Ignore the 475. But let's fill her up, and I want to check my trans fluid as well while I'm here. But we're pretty close to picking up customer rig. We are about 15 minutes away. All right, just filling the small tank, so I'm gonna let it chuckle. We got, the transmission slipping. We got 345.5, and I will say, even with the transmission slipping, it's like, it's only the converter slipping. which still, it shouldn't be doing that, but we should be hearing back from our parts truck driver today, and hopefully we have Megacab in a couple days. So I think I just overfilled the trans fluid because, well, let me, if you guys, 345.5 for 27.563 gallons. So if any of you guys want to let me know what I got fuel mileage wise, probably wasn't the greatest, but we're gonna head back around and we'll get out of here, go pick up this other truck. But yeah, it's still aerating pretty good, so it's probably still a little full, but even still, this tranny's toast. I'm not gonna try saving it. I'm not gonna change the fluid, none of that. We should be G56 swapping hopefully by Friday, but we'll see. We'll see when this truck gets here and when I get time in the shop, because I got 3 customers this week that are just, they all need to get done first. And then we can start tackling mine and Restora. See if you guys can see that. Restora. All right, we are here to pick up the first Megacab. This is a customer truck, not for me. So, gotta pick that up, and then, yeah, then, well, it runs and drives, so. All right. So, should fit, stock wheels and tires. Key. Somewhere, oh, there we go. All right. Love my little Scotch connectors. So, luckily runs, but probably needs injectors. So we're gonna get backed up behind it. Gooseneck ball. I mean, guess we get to see if we like a Megacab. That is a ton of room. This thing feels like a bus. All right. Only has 1 battery. You guys can see also only has the grid heater light on. So, does he have an exhaust brake on? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's why. Turn that off. All right, she's all loaded up. Obviously just drives up, no issues. So all we gotta do, 1 battery, like the lights on the bumper, but yeah, we got to put a battery in it on the passenger side. Since it only has 1, it needs all the wiring, and it also has the grid heater light. So throw those guys in. All right, she is all strapped. Everything's good, a little smoky. Everything's strapped and good. So now we're gonna get out of here. She only squats a little bit. If I didn't lock it, I would have showed you guys what we're dealing with under the hood, but you'll just have to wait until either tomorrow. I don't know. We'll be working on this tomorrow, so you guys will see it. So now we're gonna get out of here and hope we don't blow up a trans. Right, we got her here. Just need to back it off, grab the key, which I think I have on me. But just kind of a better look at it. Something to do with the ABS. We got to fix that. We are missing a lug nut up front. There's one right there. And probably needs injectors. It's a little windy today, but it is not bad out at all. I'm gonna get this mirror put out. Somebody was off-roading her. Not a bad looking truck. Megacabs. I might have to get me one of these. I just hate this short bed. I like how much there's a ton of cab space. Like, that is insane how much cab space there is. That is way bigger. And it's an 06. She fires right up, but the grid heater light stays on. So, has the exhaust brake, fuel pressure boost, trans temp. try to straighten that up, make it a little nicer. And the tack does not work. Put it in 2-wheel. No tack, that's a common issue. I'll ask him if he wants that fixed. E-brake. Alright. Alright, so see a starter wire. I don't see. It's supposed to be a crossover wire. So we'll probably have to grab all of that, but I kind of want one now. I've never... That is awesome. I didn't realize just how much room was back here. This is already more, and then you have... Oh, man. Alright, well... Need to get a passenger battery in it. And all the correct wiring. I gotta figure out how he has it wired up right now. And go from there. Trans cooler's leaking. Yeah. Have to figure that crossover wire out. Alright, so we need both battery terminals. I see where he ran the alternator wire over to the other side. So we need to get that taken care of. Battery box is installed. You guys will see here. Alright. So we need ground wire, positive wire, and this battery terminal is absolutely shot. You can see where it's snapped, so it needs the ground side, and this side's fine. This is for the alternator. This side's fine, but actually that's not fine. I'm gonna check that issue, but yeah, that's why when I started it last night it kind of like jumped up and shit. So we need both of those, and I'm gonna start pulling the injection. Oh, that is not a good sign. You guys can see those injection lines. Radiator, it's not leaking, but trans cooler's leaking. All right. I'm gonna get in here, see if I can see anything. But like, yeah, half the lines are rusty. Those are gonna snap when they come off. So, needs some of the lines. I would recommend replacing them, but that's just me. I'm gonna get it started. I'm gonna do a test. Should be able to see. Get the CTS3. I really like the CTS3 actually. He's running that. And it's definitely a lot better. 396 on it. See if it starts. There we go. Waking up. Engine speed. Get rid of load. Loading gauge editor. I want to see what rail pressure. Intake air temperature, gear, fuel level, fuel rail pressure right there. So the gauges kind of went back to, these all went to blue. This one stayed the same. So it's really quiet. A little erratic. Alright, so I am... I'll show you guys. You guys seem to love this test. And we get 26,000. Alright, so we're taking it on a drive. Now I'm going to take it up the mountain and then back down, and we're going to see if the P1222 code does come back, just to verify. But we know that the injection lines are pretty rusty, so if it ends up needing injectors, we're definitely going to have to replace at least a couple of them. I don't recommend just replacing a couple of them, though. I do recommend replacing all of them, but again, it's all up to the budget of customers. You can't just force them to throw the parts on. but I can definitely recommend them, and I do. Seems like there's definitely a little bit of a power steering whine, so probably just needs some fluid bled out. Trans cooler, trans temp's 173 right now. The heat exchanger cooler or thing on the side of the block, the little heat exchanger, that is gonna probably help keep the transmission about, you know, the same as the engine temps, but with the coolant, you know, the fluid leaking, it's, you know, not the best thing for it. Obviously that cooler does need to be replaced, whether we do it or not, whatever. But all four of the battery cables at this point, I would say, need replaced as well. Just start fresh. Everything's kind of rusty crusty. We will recommend it, and we will see what comes out of it. But as you can see, we're going to be cruising up the mountain. The tack doesn't work either, so we got to mark that as well. It works sometimes, like if you get into it or let off fast, I think it was, it would, yeah, that's fixable though. That's not something that's hard to do. Take about an hour, pull it apart, resolder all the joints, put it back in, bada bing, bada boom, it's good. I've repaired quite a few of those. All right, so before we just go start diagnosing injectors as well, first of all, I'm gonna do the test. So we're gonna bring them up to about 2,000. Okay, exhaust brake has to be off because, whoops, I didn't realize it was on. So I'll turn the exhaust brake off, bring it up to 2, and it's not a steady decline, but I don't know. We're gonna fix the electrical first, fix the obvious first, go through the electrical, all that, because the ABS light and brake light are on as well. So I wanna get that stuff taken care of. But yeah, so the battery's main thing, get the electrical fixed, move on to step 2, possible injectors, but probably, at this point in time, it doesn't seem like there's anything. Definitely needs some power steering fluid if you guys can, yeah, that's bad. But it does sound like they're spitting a little bit extra. That's why the exhaust brake kept popping on like that. But you can see the tack. Yeah, it's something internal inside of there. And because up there you can see the actual engine speed. The tack goes to 0. Exhaust brake off, exhaust brake on. The exhaust brake's nice too because it'll put the engine under a load, which will help you diagnose it as well, because a lot of times the light won't come on unless you have a trailer on it. But the exhaust brake can kind of treat it like it has a trailer on it. It gives that engine a little bit of a load, which will in turn throw the code if there is a problem. But at this point in time, like, I can feel it minor, but right now I'm not able to duplicate the P1222 code. But the check engine light on, oh, that didn't feel good. I'm gonna get it pulled up here, we'll check the codes, and then, like I said, probably fix the electrical first and then give it another good test drive. After that ride, we got 2 codes: PO intake air heater circuit low, exit, and turbocharger, supercharger, wastegate solenoid A. All right. So, like I said, see what the customer thinks. We'll go over the list of things we found, and we will go from there. All right, so we got a bunch of stuff I don't really need. Power steering puller, compression tester for an engine, pitman arm adjuster, and caliper set. I've had these for quite a while, but I did find the drive shaft removal tool. I have a ball joint press, and I have an entire gear puller right there. So I'm hoping that this fits in there nicely. All this is gonna go in the cab. We're gonna build a nice little platform, and we got the approval on that. So I will go over that with you guys in the next video. But if you guys enjoyed, go check out Mudflap, link in the description. And if you guys need anything, steve@cpstevemiller.com. We're getting all this stuff organized, and it's looking pretty good.